let's see, the wiki again. Where is it? Affected entities? Yeah, this is definitely confusing me. I think I'm getting something, finally. See, set success count player name, team 1, and then the objective being team scores. Only getting a 1 on the value. Why is this? Returns a result of command query, returns the command success count. Returns the number of affected entities. Either it was a success count or entity count I would want. Scoreboard, objectives. Scoreboard players. Set team 1. Team score is 0. And if I tell the cows to say hi, because that executes a command which causes it to notice the stats, then it updates to 1. Why is this command so weird? I don't think I've ever come across a more weird command. Welcome back, Nat. Discover anything? If you do that, then tell them to say hi, it works. Get a 1 instead of 0. Try stats block. Why stats block instead of stats entity? And XYZ. Is there an XYZ version? Oh, there is for block, but not entities. Gotta remember, I'm testing entities, not block. Regardless, so set success count. See, team 1 is a player name. The objective is team scores in this particular case, since I'm just testing. So if I run the command, so storing success count stats and team scores on team 1. And then I have an execute command of targeting entities of type cows, telling them to say hi. Whoops, forget the relative coordinates. I get it, but the team 1 only ends up with 1 instead of the actual count itself. How do you suggest then I set up the cuboid for the stats block then? Oh, I see, the XYZ is for the block itself. Let's see, negative X, and then down 1. Set success count, whatever player, whatever. What about the selector for that? Let's see, set stat selector objective. Wait. Seems to work. Yeah, now I got 50 cows in there, it's all there. I don't understand why the stats entity didn't work then, since I was actually using execute afterwards. Yeah, stats entity did the selection for the cows, set success count team 1, team scores, run that, then the cows should have incremented the value when I did like a high on them, which executes a command. It should have added up to 50. That's weird. Definitely have to keep that in mind though. That is really weird. Let's kill off 10 cows, and it does immediately update. Alright, now team 1 is back to 0. But yeah, for the entities, I'm a little weirded out on that. Oh, I would have had to use execute and then the stats command. So if I summon cow, we can try it. Set success count. Yeah, I don't. Oh, does it? Alright, that explains why the team scores variable that I was getting while you were off looking at the wiki was only getting set to 1 instead of additionally adding to it. I think if I was going to go this route with stats entity instead of stacks block, the command I would have to execute at them would be... I don't even know. Wonder what the point of stats entity is then. I can't even think of a practical use for it right now. There might be one, but... yeah, I guess for the time being, that'll be it then for that. So I got one count for... one count for cows. Let's see... Cow count... Dummy... Wait, no, I want to do, team scores of raw. Scoreboard, players... Add... Team 1 cows to team scores raw. Team 1 cows. That's what I wanted, right? Maybe. I can't think of a purpose at the moment. Yeah, I can think of a... I really can't think of a purpose at the moment. Not for that, anyway. I can actually remove that test 4. Alright, so I'm detecting cows then, and I got the 2 command block setups for this. I think the next ones I could test for sheep. Sheep in that area. And then set the team1 sheep variable for that. Well, player name, I guess. Then just redo this over and over again for the other mobs. Is villager a type? I believe it is. Probably could use MCA to do this, but I don't have the filter installed at the moment. Is it villager or villagers? It's villager. Messed up. Messed up. Alright, so now I should be able to detect sheep and villager counts. At least for this area. Which seems to work just fine. Here's a question. Here's what I didn't actually think about. Would this method actually work for stealing mobs out of someone else's place? If I can actually hit a mob? It would. So you could actually steal the mobs out of someone's point pen. Wait, there's only 2 cows in there? I don't see 2 cows, I only see 1 cow. Huh. Is this not updating afterwards? If I killed the... Wait, is it? This is still running. Alright, still running. That's interesting. So if I was to do this... Actually, if I was to... Wait, how many sheep are in there right now? 1, 2... I see 2. I see 2 in there, though, and the scoreboard shows 3. What is that? Let's give me a sign. Let's make this a little more fun with the getting them away instead of using the frickin' fishing rod. Level 10? And I forgot my curly brackets. That is not a valid number. What? It's not supposed to be a valid number. It's not a number at all. Oh. Whoops. Forgot the amount and the other value. Bam. Get out of here. Oh, well, it killed the sheep died and it removed the count. What What happens if I add a sheep over here? It finds that sheep. What if I spawn one? Summon sheep at... Oh, I don't know. About 120 blocks away. It's finding them. What does that mean for my selector then? Is my selector wrong? Is the stats wrong? Something's wrong. Yeah, because it should not be able to find those sheep way out in the middle of nowhere. Does that happen to cows as well? Right. Just cow. Yeah, it's finding them way the hell away from me. 120 blocks away from me. And that X and Z is 45-102, isn't it? For this corner over here? 45-102, yeah. Any idea what's going on there, Nat? Yeah, but is it the test 4 selector or what? The X, Y, and Z are set very specifically. And the only... The DX and DZ are the ones that are set. I made DX and DZ positive. But then it's not finding any cows, but it is finding sheep and villagers. Why is it finding sheep and villagers? Yeah, if I add more sheep, it finds more of them. Did I typo my selector for cows? At some point, but I figured it would have errored, right? But it says found cow. But then why? Maybe I need to take a look at the selector arguments for DX and DZ then. Maybe I'm misunderstanding them. Yeah, I downloaded stats itself. Simply because it is finding all the sheep. The only thing I'm wondering about is why this selector is not working. Type cow X45 Y61 Z102. That is that northwest corner. And then I want to go 52 blocks along the X-axis, which is what DX is supposed to be, the delta X, and then 3 blocks along the Z-axis, or delta Z. If they were both positive, the cows weren't counted. But if I set them to be negative, it seems to be counting everything, regardless of where it is. Block data your test 4 command and nothing. What is that? The command. I guess I could specify a dy. There is that selector argument. If I set that command to nothing, it does get rid of the cows, so it is figuring out that is supposed to be a result of this block. If I had a dy of 0, then I get no cows being detected. If I change those back to positive and that to 1, that does nothing. If I make both of these negative again, does it find them? No. If I make it negative 1, it finds them. It shouldn't be negative. Selects only targets within the volume defined as starting from the location where the command was executed and extending dx blocks in the positive x direction, dy blocks in the positive y direction, and dz blocks in the positive z direction. All values must be positive. Oh, you want me to actually remove all information from the block, huh? Block data, your test for command blocked and nothing. Yeah, the success count on that is 11. Team 1 cows is set to 11, so it's getting, the stats is working properly. Well, yeah, that's because I'm just using 2 curly brackets. It's not going to change anything. I'm not setting anything to anything. I mean, I could set 1 to 1, then it says it was updated. Although the 1 is an invalid MBT tag. Yeah, success count is 11. Teams 1 cows score is 11. The stats is working. I would have to say the issue is with the selector. And the wiki says not to have the dx, dz, and dy negative at all. Like, the values must be positive.